Hello, this is Jockin, coach of the San Francisco Cinderace. I thought I would do a recap of my Week 1 battle in the SCL. So before I get into it, there were a few changes I made. The team builder, I said I was using Life Orb Flygon. I switched it up to Expert Belt, and I switched Aegislash's item from a Metal Coat to a Weakness Policy. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. My predictions for his team, I said I expected Sandaconda, Hawlucha, Duraludon, either Gourgeist or Scrafty, and Rabombi, as well as Obstagoon. He didn't bring the Obstagoon, and he didn't bring the Rabombi, which was surprising. But the team he brought did look still scary. The Dottler could still set up sticky webs. The Scrafty could be problematic for some of my team members. But I worked through it, and it ended up going pretty well. We'll get right into it here. I lead Cinderace, he leads Sandaconda, so this is a matchup that Cinderace, it can do decent damage with Pyro Ball, but I wasn't sure if he was going to G-Max straight away or not, so I wanted to get out of there. I'm expecting an Earthquake, so I U-turn out. And instead, we see he goes for the Stealth Rocks. I send in Vaporeon because, although I have Flygon and Silvally flying, I thought Vaporeon was a safe switch in case he went for a Stone Edge or something like an Outrage in case he had it. I felt like Vaporeon was the safest switch, and he Stealth Rocked, so not a bad switch in. A Scald to do, I think it's 70%, so we'll almost kill him if he doesn't G-Max here. So I go for a Scald. He switches out into his Scrafty, and I see that it's doing about 31%. It's a good amount, so I figured let's go for another Scald. I don't think Scrafty's got Thunder Punch, so let's see what it wants to go for here. With another Scald, he ends up going for a Bulk Up. Now, I was a little worried about a Bulk Up, but I figured my Scald is doing enough. If I get the burn, I probably kill him. I don't know his item, but it's probably a Life Orb or something damaging since he's a Sweeper set. I didn't see his leftovers, and we know he's not Intimidate, so I'm thinking it's Moxie at this point. I'm thinking like Moxie, Life Orb is basically the Scrafty set I'm going up against. So I figure let's go for a Scald and try and get another burn. I go for the Scald, I get a low roll, and he has a Figgy Berry. No burn as well, and a Drain Punch means we're in trouble here. So I end up just going for Haze. I want to get rid of those stats, and he bulks up again. So we're kind of back to where we started, essentially. And I just want to go for another Scald, try and get that burn, see if I can get it. No luck, he knocks off my leftovers. So now we're in a little bit of an awkward situation where I'm not sure if I take another Drain Punch particularly well. If I want to Wish, I think it's a little too late. So I need to either Scald or Haze is my option here. And I think another Scald, if I, like last time, if I get enough damage and I get the burn, I think it's worth it. So I go for another Scald. And we get a better roll, still no burn, and he's Rest. So this, I got a little worried by this, but he's Rest, so I switch into Grimmsnarl with the idea that I can get a Nasty Plot off, and he's asleep. So he's not Sleep Talk, but he has Shed Skin. So he's awake. I don't think he does much damage, so I stayed in Nasty Plotted. He ended up switching, so it worked out quite well. I G-Max here because I'm afraid of the Flash Cannon, and even though I have a Berry, it still does about half my health if I don't G-Max. And I already have my Nasty Plot. Reflect doesn't do anything, so I just G-Max Dark Pulse. So we go straight for it, Flash Cannons, and it only does 29%. That's nothing. So we're going to Dark Pulse here, and we get the KO. So the first KO goes to Grimmsnarl. Sends out the Dottler, and I'm not afraid of this. I'm just going to Dark Pulse, see if we can kill it through Eviolite, and we can. Next comes out Scrafty. I think I'm faster, so I Fairy Move. Sure enough, get the KO there. Now this is where it gets interesting. I have the double special attack, but he's got three things that are all a little tricky. Gourgeist probably gets knocked out by a Dark Pulse, but Hawlucha and Sandaconda both kind of threaten me at this health percentage, so I wanted to see who came in. Since it's Hawlucha, I want to get a Reflect and see if he's going to try and Swords Dance, or if he's just going to go straight for a damaging move, and he goes straight for Sky Attack Power Herb. So he's got his Unburden off, and I got my Reflect. I know I'm dead if I stay in, so I go out into Aegislash. This is my main Hawlucha counter. And he goes for an Acrobatics, so I know he has Sky Attack, Acrobatics, and his Unburden is procced. I'm thinking what else he has, probably the Close Combat or the High Jump Kick, but he's not going to want to use that. So I'm figuring maybe a Switch if he doesn't have the Fire Punch, so let's just Flash Cannon and see what happens. He has the Fire Punch, so my Weakness Policy goes off, and at this point it's just a dead Hawlucha. It's not living a +2 Flash Cannon. So it goes down to Aegislash, and the Sandaconda G-Max comes in. This is problematic. I King Shield to see if he didn't G-Max, but it makes complete sense that he did. I only take 1%, which is nice, but after I stay in, I figure he's going to max ground, so I need to get out of there. Vaporeon probably wasn't the switch here. Because I knew the max ground is coming, I probably should have gone into one of these, but I wasn't confident that he didn't just max Wormwind again. So I thought the safe option was Vaporeon. Worst comes to worst, it gets sacked. It didn't die, which is okay. Maybe I outspeed him, but I doubted him. Okay speed, but nothing crazy. I'll get a Scald maybe if I live, 1% lucky, but then the sand kills me. So we bring in Flygon. This honestly was a panic switch in. I knew he had the dragon move. I shouldn't have done it. I should have gone into Silvally instead and checked to see if he had the rock move, Stealth Rock, or not Stealth Rock, Stone Edge. Because if he doesn't have Stone Edge, he doesn't have a good way to deal with Silvally. And Silvally could do some decent damage. It'll kill the Gourgeist if he tries to switch it in. So Silvally was the better option here. I think this was a misplay and sort of kind of snowballed more in his favor than it should have. Because Flygon's going to go down to this max Wormwind. So that's another kill for the Sandaconda. At this point, I don't really know what I want to do, so I'm going to bring in Grimmsnarl. I EV'd that I would be faster. If you watch the team builder, I said I would EV to be 1 faster than Sandaconda if it's not invested. I was debating between Reflect or Dazzling Gleam to see what he thought, or what I thought he might do. If he was going to just outspeed me, then Reflect was the better play, and on Dazzling Gleam if I thought I outsped. In all honesty, I should have gone Dark Pulse for the flinch chance, but hindsight's 20/20. I decided I'm going to risk it. I'm going to see if I'm faster. I'm going to click the Dazzling Gleam, and we are faster, so we get a nice chunk of 48. And at this point, Cinderace can come in and get the kill. Cinderace does 40 to 50% with a Pyro Ball, so I was not afraid. Just come in and Pyro Ball, let him bring in the Gourgeist, and Pyro Ball again. Worst comes to worst, it kills me somehow. Aegislash gets the Shadow Sneak, so it Phantom Forces. Now, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Silvally probably could take it and kill it, but I didn't think it would kill Cinderace, and it did a lot more than I thought it was going to. It got me down to 19%. It was close. But now I just click Pyro Ball and pick up the last kill. So, all in all, a good battle. I think the Flygon switch-in was not the best option. Silvally was safer there. And maybe I should have wished in the Scrafty engagement to keep Vaporeon healthy, since Sandaconda hadn't been dealt with yet, but overall I think I played it well. I came out with the win, 3-0, like I thought it was going to be in the team builder. I knew that Gmax Sandaconda was going to give me some problems, and I think my opponent, Whatever571, the coach of the Toxicroaks, played a very strong game. The Sandaconda was very scary, and if I didn't have the Aegislash, I think the Hawlucha would have run over my team. So, good game to him, and thank you for watching.